Test, test, 1, 2. Nope, too high. Test, test. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, test. Test, test. No. Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Test, test. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Seattle Pacific University Hawkeyes. The head coach of the At forward number 13, a 5'10" senior from Normandy Park, Ryan Green. At forward number 21, a 6' senior from London, Courtney Hollander. At center number 15, a 60 senior from London, Julia Henry. At guard number 10, a 5'8" senior from Savannah, Rachel Shell. And at guard number 22, a 5'8" senior from Spokane, Lindsay Reed.
And a very good afternoon to everybody, and welcome into Royal Brome Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University as the Seattle Pacific Falcon women take on the St. Martin's Saints in this early season GNAC matchup. Tom Giannola here with you as the Falcons come into this matchup 6-1 overall in the year, 1-1 in the GNAC. They lost to Concordia of Portland last Thursday, and then last Saturday they blew out Western Oregon on the road. And for St. Martin's, they too are 1-1 in the GNAC, 5-4 overall on the year. The Falcons are going to be in the home whites today, and St. Martin's are going to be in the black jerseys with red numbers. Falcons will be going from left to right on your screen to start out this quarter and this half, and St. Martin's will go from right to left as the Falcons win the tip, and we're underway here. Rachel Shim first to touch the ball for the Falcons. She goes to Lindsay Lee, shot from the point for three, no good, it rims out, and the rebound gets into the hands of Sanaya Simpson-Patu. And Simpson-Patu passes it out of her side pocket, and they work it over to Hannah Reynolds. Reynolds passing it right corner, and the shot from mid-range no good for ball, it looked like there. The Falcons get the rebound. Here's Julia Haining being double teamed, so she'll just go to McPhee. McPhee with it. Left side over to Lee, top of the circle. Now it's Shim with it, right side. This is going to be Hollander. Hollander just inside the three-point line, getting it to Haining, and high off the glass she goes with the reverse layup, and the Falcons take a 2-0 lead. Here now Rebecca Ball with it. Ball fumbles the ball out of bounds, last touch off Lee. Referees for today's game are Michael Thorner, Kevin Collins, and Sean Martin. And the inbound's coming up here. Hannah Reynolds for three, and that's good. So St. Martin's with the lead for the first time in this contest, 3-2. Still obviously very early on in the first quarter. Rachel Shim with it. Shim to Lee for three, and she can't take back the favor, and getting hit on the way up to get the rebound was McPhee, and she gets fouled. We'll check who the foul is on here. Foul here goes on Sanaya Simpson-Patu, the 5'10" freshman from Las Vegas. And that's going to be her first personal foul, first team. Did go to Rainier Beach High School, though. And now, ball tipped out of bounds. So we'll do the inbounds pass again here. And the inbounds going to McPhee, fumbling the ball a little bit against Simpson-Patu, but she does get it to Hollander. Now it's Haining with it. Haining just hands it off to Shim. Shim driving left, goes up, shoots, no good from just a little beyond mid-range, but the rebound going to McPhee. Fresh 30 seconds for the Falcons. Here's Shim, and now they work it to Lee inside Haining, and she lays it in off the glass. Nice play there by the Falcons, and they steal the inbounds pass as well. Here's McPhee over to Shim, to Lee, bounces inside, Hollander no, and the rebound going to Simpson-Patu. Back the other way we go, in transition, goes to Hannah Reynolds, and now she'll bounce it inside to Elin Johansson, and she goes up, and she can't make it, and the rebound goes to Haining. Johansson got knocked down on the play, but no foul. Here's Shim with it front court. Hands it off to Jordan McPhee, and now it's Courtney Hollander, top of the circle, passes over to Shim. Shim to Lee, going for another long ball. That's good this time. So Lindsay Lee, after a couple misses from deep early on, hits that one, and it's 7-3. Falcons ahead here early in the first. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Simpson, the 2 with it. Coming in. And she goes to ball, and now it's Simpson for 2. 9 to shoot. Goes up from the paint, and that's going to rim out against McPhee, and the rebound going to Haining. Back the other way we go, Shim. McPhee. Left side. Lee, Shim. Shim heading to the left. Passes Hollander for 3, and that's going to rim out. And the rebound was going to go into the hands of Simpson for 2, but she was fouled. Looked like by McPhee that time, but we'll check the call. And it is going to go on McPhee, and that's her first of the quarter on the Falcons. So each team with 1 foul apiece now, with 6:47 to go, first quarter. Inbounds pass coming up here. And gets into the hands of Reynolds. Reynolds with it. Reynolds in the front court. They work it inside, and a shot on the way, no good for Lauren Lindley, but she is fouled on the way up as she tried to post up. Foul that time going on Carly Radishuk, and that's going to be, or Carly Ratosh, excuse me, that's her first personal foul. Second on the Falcons in the quarter. Free throw time now, Lindley to the line, she shoots 2. The Falcons up 7-3, and the first shot no good off the back iron. Lindley came into this game just shooting 6 of 14 from the free throw line. Now she's 6 of 15 as Albert checks in for McPhee. Jaylee Albert in the game for the first time for the Falcons. Second shot coming, that's no good, and Ratosh comes in and gets the rebound. Albert, kind of an outlet whip through the court pass to Shim, and now it's Lee to Albert for 3 from the corner, no, and the rebound going to Shim. Back the other way we go. Falcons shooting a lot of 3-point attempts early on here. Not a lot of them going in just yet. And Shim has that one poked away by Simpson Patu. Simpson Patu off to the races against Lee, and she lays it in off the glass. Great speed and quickness shown by her. Now here's Shim working it quickly to Lee in transition basically, and that's no good for 3. Gets it back though, and the rebound to Lee, and now Albert gets it back from Lee, and now Shim with it. Shim passing it left. They shoot from deep with Lee, and that's no good again, and the rebound going to Johansson. Back the other way we go. This is Shyler Sullivan with the ball now for St. Martin's. Bounces it right side to Simpson Patu. And the layup no good, and the rebound going to Ratosh, and back the other way we go. This is Albert now. Albert hustling in. Right-hand layup, no good in transition, and the rebound gets into the hands of Johansson. Back the other way we go, Simpson Patu. Simpson Patu pulls up, shoots, counted in the foul. So St. Martin's ties this one at 7, and they get a chance for a 3-point play here. Foul goes on Lee, and that's her first. And if Simpson Patu actually kind of leaned in to try to draw the foul, that was pretty savvy on her part. So 3 team fouls on the Falcons here in quarter number 1. Still 5:13 left to play in the quarter. As number 5, Emma Kennedy, checks in here for St. Martin's. So the free throw coming up here, and that's going to be good for Simpson Patu. Came into this game with 14.2 points per game and 6.6 rebounds per game for St. Martin, showing off a lot of speed and quickness so far, that's for sure. Now Pagano inbounds to Albert. Albert dribbling along right side, gives it to Lee, and now it's Pagano. Over to McPhee coming in. Now it's going to be Pagano. And now it's going to be Albert for 3, and finally one goes in for the Falcons from deep. They were due for one. That's their second tray of the quarter here, and it makes it 10-8. McKenna Schultz with it. Over to Kennedy. We'll work it right side. Three-pointer up and good. Schultz hits it from deep, and Sullivan delivers the assist there. 11-10, St. Martin's ahead. Ratash being double teamed. Got to get out of there. Ball batted out of bounds. I think last touch off Kennedy. And we're going to have an under 5-minute timeout here, media timeout, with 4:21 to go in the first quarter. Good game so far. St. Martin's ahead, 11-10 over the Falcons. We'll be back. All right, 4:21 left in quarter number one. The score right now is 11-10 in favor of St. Martin's. As Rachel Shim and Julia Haining check back in for the Falcons. Inbounds pass coming up here for the Falcons. It's McPhee who delivers to Haining, immediately posts up, and then just passes it off Sullivan out of bounds. And that will give it back to the Falcons with 20 to shoot. Inbound's coming up from the baseline. It's going to be Shim who will inbound here. Haining with it. Albert. Albert with the ball right side. Now Haining. 12 to shoot. Shim. Albert. Falcons have to be mindful of the clock. Here's Shim for three with 6 to shoot, and she made it. Third tray of the quarter for the Falcons. They've been trying a lot from deep here against St. Martin's early on. That happens to be their third tray, and it puts them up 13-11. Here's Kennedy, passing it right. And in the corner now it's Sullivan. And that pass tipped and then eventually picked off by Shim. It was McPhee who broke up the pass, and now as she's trapped in the back court, she's going to be fouled from behind by Kennedy. And then Kennedy called for the foul, her first, second on St. Martin's in the quarter. Inbounds coming up here. Pagano will go to Shim. Shim with it. Now a whistle. And we get an offensive foul on the Falcons. And it's going to be Jaylee Albert who's called for the foul, and that's going to be her first personal foul. Fourth team foul of the quarter, comes away from the ball. And St. Martin's will inbound here. So the inbound's coming for the Saints, and it gets into the hands of Schultz. After Mercedes Victor delivered it to her. This is Baugh. Now Victor, deep two, good. Mercedes Victor drains it from about 15 feet away, and it's 13-13. Albert. Shim to Pagano, now it's Albert. Takes the pass, and now she's going to head a step left. Now gives to Shim. Shim being double teamed, and she'll just hand it off to McPhee. Now Haining works a step to the left, and that's going to get her the easier look at the basket, and she scores with the left hand off the glass. 15-13, Falcons ahead in this back and forth quarter. This is Schultz with it. Heads left, now back to the right, and she just throws it up with a double team in front of her and in. Somehow, some way, she got that shot to go in the net. Well, that was just a blind stab right there for 2 points. And now McPhee heading to the right, a couple steps. Now it's Shim. Shim Patiently finds Albert, another three-point attempt. That's not even close, it's wide right. Out of bounds, and St. Martin's will take over. 2:19 left in this quarter as Falcons substitute a couple players. Inbounds here, and it gets into the hands of Schultz. McKenna Schultz with it, front court. Schultz looking for a friend, being guarded by Shim, bounces it over. Now they give it to Simpson Patu, and now this is Schultz, pulls up, and from mid-range she got it. 17-15. St. Martin's back on top, back in fourth quarter here. In quarter number one, 17-15. Falcons behind, and now Lee goes left, gives it to McPhee, comes in quickly, goes up, scoops, and she scores. Jordan McPhee puts it in, and we're even at 17. Schultz with it, just hands it off, and goes to Victor now. They work it to Simpson Patu. They work it inside to Johansson, and she's fouled as she shoots it off the side of the backboard. With 1:17 left in the quarter, that'll put St. Martin's in the bonus situation, although they're going to get 2 free throws anyway here because it's a shooting foul. It's going to be on Lindsay Lee, and that's her second. So the Falcons are going to have to take Lee out of the ball game to save her from a little bit of foul trouble, and Haley Bennett will come in for her. Also, Riley Evans checking in for the first time for the Falcons. So, second free throw coming up here for Johansson. It's going to be good, and that makes it 19-17. Bennett. McPhee, Hollander. This is Bennett. Now it's McPhee coming in, heading to the left, fakes, throws it up, no. Rebound Hayning though, fresh 30 seconds. Now they're going to foul here, I believe. Or nope, it was just poked out of bounds. Couldn't quite see from our perspective, my apologies. Inbounds here with 1:02 to go. Gets into the hands of McPhee. Hollander, Hayning coming in, goes up, scores. Julia Hayning puts it in, 19-19, all tied. Less than a minute to go first quarter. Schultz with it, whistle here, and a traveling violation is called on St. Martin's. So Schultz walked with the basketball a little bit. And now the Falcons will have to inbound it from nearly midcourt. St. Martin's defense will all go to the front court. Now it's Bennett after getting a handoff from Hollander. McPhee inside Bennett, overthrew it, and Bennett was out of bounds. Tough break there for the Falcons. So they turned the ball over after St. Martin's turned it over on a travel. Now it's going to be Schultz with it. 30 seconds left in quarter number one. Schultz against Bennett now. 19 to shoot and counting. Schultz biding her time. 10 on the shot clock. Heading to the right. Shot for mid-range, and it's good, nothing but net. Clock's moving, 8 seconds, 7. Falcons aware of the time. Here's Bennett coming in. Bennett trying to tie, and it's going to rim out. And that's how the quarter will end as Simpson Patu gets the rebound. So a good first quarter, but St. Martin's is the one that ends up on top of the Falcons here, 21-19. As we take a brief timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment. Well, getting set to start quarter number 2 here. The Saints still going from right to left on your screen. Falcons from left to right. Falcons in the white jerseys, Saints in the black jerseys. And you'll have to forgive us in advance if some of the numbers are a little bit hard to read on the Saints side. They have red numbers on black jerseys, no outline on it. As that ball's poked free and Falcons get it back. Haining scoops up the loose ball. 21-19, Falcons trailing the Saints here. Now it's Hollander posting up, can't make it, and the rebound gets into the hands of Baugh. Back the other way we go. They work it to the corner with Reynolds. And now they get it out to Simpson Patu, and Simpson Patu shoots from the right side of the free throw line. No good. Good defense by McPhee. That forces the bad shot. Hollander the rebound. And now McPhee driving to the right, and she scores as she scoops and puts it in with the right hand. 21-21. Schultz with it. Short pass to Reynolds. And Reynolds gets it over to Simpson Patu. 13 to shoot. High touch pass caught by Johansson. Johansson turn around against Haining, and that's good. 23-21, the Saints making it tough on the Falcons here early on. Haley Bennett. And now they pass it to McPhee, and now it's Bennett right corner. They go to Haining, fakes, and she goes up, and she's fouled on the way up, and she'll go to the line for 2. First foul of the quarter on the Saints, and the first overall on Johansson. Leading scorer right now for St. Martin's, by the way, 18.6 points per game. 6'1" senior from Sweden. And now, first free throw up and good for Julia Haining. She's got 9. Second shot coming for Haining here, and that's going to be no good. So the Falcons still trail by 1 as Simpson Patu gets the rebound. She kind of stumbles and trips. Feet get tangled here, and McPhee's going to get called for the foul, it looks like, and that'll be her second. And that's going to be the first on the Falcons in this quarter, and that will get Rachel Shim to the scorer's table and into the game for McPhee as she now sits out with 2 fouls. Inbounds pass coming up here. Simpson Patu with it. Sanaya Simpson Patu. Coming in quick. Goes up against Shim, and that's going to rim out. And the rebound gets into the hands of Hollander. Hands off Bennett. Falcons trying to run in transition. Shim. Hollander. Heads to the right. And she's going to go to Bennett. Bennett knocks down a defender. Blocking foul is the call. So count that basket and the foul as Reynolds goes down. So Haley Bennett's on the scoreboard for the first time in this game. Foul goes on to Reynolds, her first, team second. Falcons up by 1. Free throw coming up here for Bennett. It's going to be on the way, and it's good. 25-23, Falcons by a deuce. And now in the front court they go. Simpson Patu over to Reynolds, who then kicks it out. They try a 3 for the lead, and that rims out for Baugh, it looked like there. Or Schultz, excuse me. Falcons get the rebound. And now it's going to be Shim with it. Shim front court, passes left. Riley Evans for 3. Can't make it. Rebound goes to nobody as Shim and Reynolds got tangled. And they're going to call it on Reynolds, and that's going to be her second, team's third of the quarter. So the Falcons will gladly take that as Evans checks out of the game. Lindsay Lee back in for the Falcons. She inbounds to Haining over to Hollander now. And Hollander passes to Lee, bounces inside Haining, posting up, so she'll just kick it out on a double team. And it's going to be Shim, who has a clean look, and she makes the hoop, the assist to Haining. Shim making that one easily from the very outer tip of mid-range. And now it's going to be Schultz over to Simpson Patu. Pass broken up and stolen by Haining. Nice defense against Johansson there. Now it's going to be Bennett with it, front court. Hands it off to Shim. Lee for three. Rims out, rebound Shim. Shim with the ball, biding her time. Now it's Hollander. Driving left. Bennett, now it's going to be Hollander for three, and then rims out, and the rebound gets into the hands of Simpson Patu. Outlet pass going to go out of bounds. Falcons will take it themselves now. As Carly Ratash checks in for Hayden. So inbounds pass coming up here. It's just a simple handoff to Bennett. And puts the ball in play, and now Bennett front court. Bennett bounces into traffic, tipped by Johansson and stolen by Baugh. Now Johansson in the front court, goes up, can't make it short, but she gets the follow-up high off the glass and the foul. As there was a lot of traffic inside along the high post going for the rebound. A lot of contact. Foul that time going on Hollander, her first, team second. Tough break there for the Falcons. Wasn't a bad foul by any means. It just happened to be a foul on a play where there was a lot of traffic, and Johansson was able to throw it high off the glass and in. And now the free throw. Up and good. 27-26, Falcons up one. Here's Shim now. Lee in the front court. Lee heading to the left, and now it's going to be Pagano. Passes left side. It's Shim. Bennett heads left a couple steps, and it's blocked away. Mercedes Victor got her hand on it, and now it's going to be Kennedy. Left corner now, and the pass intended for Kennedy is thrown away. Or was it tipped off the Falcons? Looks like it was tipped off FSPU, so a little bit of a break there for St. Martin's, to say the least, on what looked like was a high pass. Inbounds here to Kennedy. No change of possession, so just 13 seconds to go and counting on the shot clock. Bouncer here to Victor. Victor coming in, driving left against Pagano. No good. Great defense by Pagano to force the bad shot, but it's out of bounds off Pagano's hands. And it's going to be Saints ball with a fresh 30 seconds to work with. As Sanaya Simpson, the two, checks in for St. Martin's, and the inbounds coming up here. They bounce it inside, turnaround up, no good, and the rebound going to Lee. Shot taken there by Sullivan. Falcons take over now on offense. Is Albert. Lee for three. Can't get it to go down. Rebound Pagano though, back to Lee. Shim. And they work it to Albert. Now it's Lee going for the tray, and she got it to go in. Lindsay Lee, her second three-point tray of the afternoon, and it's 30-26, the Falcons by 4. Simpson Patu with it, and that gets into the hands of Victor, and Victor is fouled on the way up with 4:39 left. And now we're going to get a timeout here on the floor. Under 5 minutes to go. Media timeout. Foul there on Pagano, her first. Third team foul on the Falcons in the quarter. So each team with 3 team fouls apiece. Falcons up 30-26, but 2 free throws coming up from Mercedes Victor and the St. Martin Saints when we come back. free throw time now. Mercedes Victor to the line. She shoots 2. And the first shot coming up for her is going to be good. First action of the year for Victor this year. She's not listed in any of the statistics, at least, for St. Martin's. Second free throw up and good. Victor playing with a brace on her left leg and left knee, and now she checks out of the game after making 2 free throws. Victor, a 5'11" sophomore from Hawaii. Waiakona, Hawaii. Probably pronounced that wrong. You'll have to forgive me. Now it's Ratash who posts up, can't make it, and now it's going to be Simpson Patu who hustles in. Goes up, no good from mid-range, and the rebound goes off Lee's shoe and into the hands of Jaylee Albert. Albert front court to Shim, going for 3, and she drains it home. Falcons by 5, one of their biggest leads of the half. Very competitive half between them and St. Martin's. It's Falcons senior class, by the way, just 3-3 against these St. Martin Saints in 6 prior games. Ball poked free, but the Saints get it back. Shim almost had the steal there. They throw up the wild left-hand hook, no good, but the rebound gets into the hands of Sullivan. That follow-up no good, and the Falcons have it back now with Albert. Albert front court. Gets the pass, and now it's Shim over to Pagano. Lee. Ratash, turnaround. Rims out, and the rebound gets into the hands of Schultz. Back the other way we go. McKenna Schultz hands it off. And laying it up and in is Sullivan. So Shyler Sullivan scores, and it's 33-30. Shim with the ball now, coming in. Albert going for 3, and it rims, it's short. Didn't hit the rim, and now it's going to be Simpson Patu with it. Simpson Patu hustling, front court against Albert, counted in the foul. So that'll give the Saints a chance to tie at the free throw line here. Simpson Patu now with 7 points. The foul this time going on Albert, her second. 4 fouls on the Falcons now in this quarter. And this is going to prompt a timeout. Timeout called by the Falcons. That's the first timeout that they're entitled to use in this game. Score is 33-32. Saints with a chance to tie on a 3-point play opportunity when we come back. Looks like we're ready to start up again following a very brief SPU timeout. And the free throw to tie is up and good for Simpson Patu. So 33-33, all even here, with 2:56 left until halftime. Haley Bennett with the ball now for the Falcons. Bennett bounces it to Haining. And now it's Pagano who throws it up, no good. Some contact from Johansson, but no foul. Loose ball scooped up by Schultz. And now inside, they go for the lead with Sullivan, no good. Ball out of bounds to the Falcons, and there was actually a foul attached to that play as well. So that's number 4 on the Saints in this quarter, and the first overall on Sullivan. And now here's Bennett with the ball, 2:28 left to go. Haining. Lee. And it's McPhee heading to the left. Pagano, and now it's Bennett for 3, no good. Rebound into the hands of Pagano, and she gets fouled by, it's on, can't see who it was on Sullivan. Sullivan's called for the foul. That's her second. Team foul number 5, so Sullivan's going to have to come out of the game. Victor will come in for her. First free throw up and good for Pagano with the Falcons in the bonus situation. So Victor checks back in. 34-33, Falcons up 1 with 2:11 left to go until halftime. Pagano's second free throw up and good. 35-33. As Hollander checks in for Pagano. Inbounds pass coming up here. It's going to go into the hands of Schultz. Schultz against McPhee. Schultz heading to the left, coming in. Schultz lost the ball, no foul. Here goes McPhee. She's all by herself, and the layup is up and good. Jordan McPhee scores. She was almost coasting a little bit too much to the basket, but she got there in time, and it's 37-33. Schultz with the ball now, heading to the right. And now this is Sarah Bowen in the game, dribbling to the left, and now she's fouled. And that's going to go on Haley Bennett, and that's her first. Team foul number 5 on the Falcons, so each team with 5 fouls apiece in the quarter. 2 fouls shots the rest of the way for both sides until halftime. Starting right now with Bowen, and the first free throw up and good for her. Bowen this year, that was her first free throw that she attempted just now. Hasn't gotten a ton of playing time for the Saints. Second free throw up and good, only averaging 5.7 minutes per game. But she does get the Saints within 2 here at 37-35 after a couple made free throws. Inbounds here, Hollander going to Shim. Handoff Lee. Passes left to Hollander. Shim posting up Pagano. Yes, off the back iron and in. Falcons lead at 39-35. Schultz with it now. McKenna Schultz. Simpson Patu. Schultz. 15 to shoot. Less than a minute to go in the half. Schultz for a long 3, and that's short. But the rebound gets right back to Schultz. Fresh 30 seconds for the Saints. Simpson Patu with it. He's going to bounce it over to Victor. Passes it over to Simpson Patu, heading into the left. It's no good. It's short, out of bounds, untouched. Falcons have it. 32.8 seconds to go, so a 2.8 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock right now. Falcons have to be more mindful of the shot clock. As Elin Johansson checks in for Lauren Lindley on the Saints side. Falcons trying to go into halftime with an increased lead here. They're up by 4 right now, hoping to go up by 6 or 7. Shim with the ball. 14 to shoot and count it. Going to the right, pulls up, and she'll bank it home from short mid-range. 41-35, here's Schultz coming in, going up left hand, made it somehow, some way. And that's how this competitive first half ends between the Falcons and the Saints. 41-37 is our halftime score, with the Falcons up by 4 over St. Martin's. We'll take about a 13-minute or so break in our coverage, and then we'll come back for some SPU Sports News and coverage of the second half between the Falcons and the Saints. Well, we're a couple minutes away from restarting the action between the Falcons and the St. Martin Saints. Falcons up 41-37 right now over SMU. Hope you're doing okay this afternoon. Tom Gianella here with you. And before we get to the second half, let's talk about some other SPU sports news. The Falcons men's basketball team is in the middle of a 2-week break from competition. Last Saturday in Ellensburg, Tony Miller scored 23 points and Gavin Long added 17 as SPU rallied to beat Central Washington in overtime, 84-83. The Falcons return to action on Monday, December 18th at Stanislaus State, tipping off at 7 p.m. in Turlock, California. Next home action is Thursday, December 28th, when our arch rival Western Washington comes to Blount Pavilion for a 7:30 p.m. showdown. The women's basketball team plays its next 2 games on the road, visiting Concordia Irvine next Thursday at 6 p.m., then taking on Oklahoma Christian on Monday, December 18th. That game will be at St. Martin's University at 5:15 p.m. The next home game is Thursday, December 28th against Montana State Billings at 5:15 p.m. That will be the first game of a doubleheader, followed by the SBU Western Washington men's game. The gymnastics and indoor track seasons start in January. The Falcon Gymnasts open at home on Friday, January 12th against UC Davis at 7 p.m. The first indoor track meet is the UW Indoor Preview on Saturday, January 13th at 9 a.m. at Dempsey Indoor on the UW campus. And a reminder, fans, all the latest news on Seattle Pacific Athletics is just a click away at newly renovated SPUFalcons.com, where you can get all the Falcon sports news that you can't get anywhere else on the day it happens. And a quick look at the stats in the first half show a very tight and competitive game between the Falcons and the Saints. St. Martin's went 13 of 29 from the field, good for 44.8%, just 2 of 4 from three-point land. And the Falcons, conversely, going 16 of 39 from the field, so they had more chances to shoot. They had more rebounds, coincidentally enough, 22-19. Also, less turnovers than the Saints did. 7 turnovers for the Saints, 4 for the Falcons. Falcons shot a lot from deep, though. They went 5 of 18 from three-point land, good for just 27.8%. St. Martin's went 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and the Falcons 4 of 5. Leading scorers for both sides. For the Saints, McKenna Schultz leading the way at 11. Sanaya Simpson-Patu in second place with 8 points, also has 8 rebounds to lead the Saints. And Elin Johansson has 7. For the Falcons, 10 points for Rachel Shim leads the way, followed by Julia Hayting with 9. Jordan McPhee has 6. Lindsay Lee has 6, as the Falcons have the ball first to start the second half. They go from right to left on your screen in the white jerseys. And the Saints going from left to right. McPhee's rejected inside by Simpson-Patu, but no foul. Leading the way in terms of rebounding, Julia Hayting and Rachel Shim each had 4. Carly Ratash had 3 coming in off the bench. Driving in, Hollander, a couple steps, shoots from mid-range, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch off the Falcons and Shim, and she can't believe she tipped that ball out of bounds. Very competitive game so far. Falcons, their biggest lead of this game has been 6. And the Saints' biggest lead has been 2. So we have not had a double-digit lead in this contest yet, as Johansson takes it, and she's fouled by Hayting on that poke. That or Hollander for the contact from behind. We'll check the call. And it's going to go on Hayting, and that's her first. We've had 7 ties, 8 lead changes in this contest. And Falcons in the home white, Saints in the black. And Johansson, left hand, no good. Rebound was going to be tipped into the hands of Hollander, but everything gets stopped because of a foul call. And it looks like this is going to stay with St. Martin's. So on McPhee, the foul, that is, and that's her 3rd. So Julie Heisey's going to have to think about taking her out of the game because of foul trouble, although no substitutions will be made for now. Pass is tipped, but it gets into the hands of Johansson. Johansson heading left. Kicks it out. And coming in and shooting no good is Reynolds. Tapping is good, though, for Johansson. So that gets the Saints within 2, 41-39. Shim, McPhee, Hayting, Hollander, and Lee on the court right now for the Falcons. As that pass is tipped, Lee can't prevent the steal. Rebecca Baugh took it away, and Simpson-Patu scores to tie. Simpson-Patu, Reynolds, Baugh, Johansson, and Russ Jayla Russ on the floor to start the second half for St. Martin's. Shim hits the three to put the Falcons back in the lead, 44-41. What a competitive game between these two GNAC rivals. Of course, like we talked about the last 3 years, so these senior classes, 3-3. Even though all time, this has been a one-sided rivalry in favor of the Falcons, 52-16. Falcons get the ball back after a turnover, no foul on the last play. And they inbound it here to Shim. And now it's Bennett in the game, shoots a deep two, no good. Bennett gets it back though. She knew where that ball was going to go. Haining with it. Hollander got it for three. Courtney Hollander puts it in. 47-41. Schultz to Simpson-Patu. Bounces it inside, and that's no good for Johansson. Rebound to Hollander. Back the other way we go. Shim to Lee. Three-pointer up. And that's no good for Hollander. Ball loose though and picked up by Shim, and now here's Bennett. Bennett heading left a few steps. Haining. Coming in, Hollander going up, in, off the glass. Courtney Hollander scores, 49-41. 8-point lead for the Falcons, their biggest of the afternoon. An 8-0 run for SBU right now as Schultz has it. Johansson coming in, going up left hand, no good, off the glass. A little bit too hard off the glass, but Johansson poked it free from Bennett, but luckily Haining was there to scoop it up for the Falcons. Now Bennett pulls up for a deep two from the top of the key, no good. Rebound to Simpson-Patu. Simpson-Patu coming in the other way hard. And she passes it out. Shot for three, no good for Schultz. Rebound into the hands of Russ. And now it's Schultz with it. Schultz with 23 to shoot. Going against Bennett. He's going to find Russ. Russ. Schultz coming in. Right hand, turn around, no. Rebound going into the hands of Hollander. Now here comes Bennett. Outlet pass, caught Haining, and she's hacked. She'll go to the line here as Ball hacked her on the way up. Tried to prevent the easy two from happening. First foul on Ball, first on the Saints in this quarter. Timeout called here by St. Martin's. So the Saints, by their first-year coach, Christy Martin, they want to straighten things out. Falcons on an 8-0 run, and they're going to go to the free throw line when we come back. All right, to pick up the action here, 6:38 to go, third quarter. Julia Haining going to the free throw line here. And she will shoot two shots. Haining with 9 points so far and can't make it 10 that time. Haining came into this game just a 65% shooter from the free throw line this year, 13 of 20. As Shyler Sullivan checks in for the Saints, Rebecca Baugh checks out for the time being. Second free throw good for Haining, and that makes it 50-41. This is Schultz now with the inbound. Falcons up 9. This is their biggest lead of the game. Biggest lead for either team in this contest right now. Schultz with it. Bounces it to Simpson Patu. Simpson Patu coming in, passes left. Now it's Schultz. Gets Shim, heading left, throws it up right hand, somehow got it to go in. And the Saints just keep hanging around here. Although that basket just ended a 9-0 run by the Falcons. Lee, Haining. Pulling up is Albert for mid-range, too far, and Hollander tried to save it, but her foot was on the line, out of bounds. So the Saints get it back, 5:49 left, third quarter. Looks like Erica Pagano will check in for the Falcons. She'll check in for Haney. And we'll watch the inbounds here. It's into the hands of Schultz. Schultz with it. Pass tipped by Pagano, stolen by Shim. Back the other way we go. Falcons in transition. Ball delivered to Lee. Shoots the three. Can't make it. Actually would have been a 2. Hollander gets the rebound for the Falcons this time around, though. And now it's Shim to Lee. And now Lee. Right side. Hollander. Albert. Lee. Kicks out. Pagano for 3. No. And the rebound gets into the hands of Sullivan. Sullivan back the other way. Schultz. Bounces to Simpson Patu. Schultz to Simpson Patu. Bounces at Johansson. Posts up, no good, but we get a foul on Pagano. With 4:53 left, third quarter. Fouls on Pagano, her second. Team foul number 3 on the Falcons in this quarter. Timeout on the floor, immediate timeout with less than 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Still a competitive game. Falcons up by 7, 50-43. 2 free throws coming up for St. Martin's, though, when we return. Well, both teams breaking their respective huddles here following the under 5-minute immediate timeout. 50-43. Falcons on top by 7. Free throw time. And the first one up and good for Johansson. 50-44. Falcons by 6. Johansson has 10. Second free throw up and it's going to rain in, and it is 50-45. Inbounds going to Albert. 5-point game. Falcons trying to hang on to this lead as Lee takes it over to McPhee. Pagano kicks out to Albert. Hollander with it. Hollander right side. Coming in. Trying to go up. It's blocked by Johansson, and the loose ball scooped up by Schultz. Schultz hustling into the front court. Schultz going up, and that's blocked away. But a foul is going to be called. A foul is going to be called on the Falcons. A little bit too much contact on the block, apparently. Fouls on McPhee, and that's her 4th. And now Rachel Shim has to come in the game for McPhee, who currently has 6 points for the Falcons. And now Schultz will go to the line for 2 shots for the Saints of St. Martin's. And the first free throw up and good for her. Schultz, a 5'2" sophomore from Lacey. Ratosh will check in as well for the Falcons. As Courtney Hollander takes a seat as well. Second free throw short, and the rebound going to Pagano. Back the other way we go. Albert with the ball for the Falcons. 50-46, SPU by 4, trying to hang on to this lead. Posting up Pagano, goes up, she's fouled on the way up. And she'll go to the line for 2. Foul that time going on Victor, Mercedes Victor, and that's her first, second team of the quarter. Off to the line here is Pagano. 7 of 8 from the free throw line this year going into this game, and the first shot up and good for her. 51-46. Pagano has 5 points now for the Falcons. Second shot coming, and that's good as well. 52-46, Falcons by 6. Falcons going full court defense here. Schultz passes it to the front. Simpson Patu. They try to go inside, but Pagano breaks up the pass and picks it off. Intended for Sullivan, and now it's going to be Albert in the front court to Lee. Back to Albert. Whip of the court pass to Pagano coming in. Goes up and scores in between 2 defenders. Erica Pagano puts it in, and it's 54-46. Falcons by 8. It's been a tight game, but the Falcons have had control for most of it. Ball poked free and stolen away. Stolen by Albert, taken away from Johansson. And now it's Shim to Ratosh. And now it's Lee for 3, and that's no good. The assist would have gone to Pagano if it had gone down, but Shim hustles in for the rebound. Fresh 30 seconds for the Falcons. Shim with it, directing traffic, going to Lee. Lee almost slid her right foot a little too far, and Ratosh wasn't ready for the pass, and it goes out of bounds. With 3:07 to go in the third. So the inbounds pass coming up here from Shyler Sullivan. And it gets into the hands of Schultz, and now back to Sullivan, and now back to Schultz. As the Saints try to figure out this full court defense. Now they get to Johansson in the front court. Johansson, far side pass. This is Simpson Patu. Simpson Patu coming in, a whistle, and I think we are going to get a foul as Simpson Patu tried to kick it out. Wasn't a shooting foul, but it doesn't matter because it's number 5 on the Falcons in the quarter. So this means free throws for Simpson Patu here. Foul going on Lee this time. That's her 3rd overall. So the Falcons are getting into a little bit of foul trouble here. You've got Lee with 3 fouls now. McPhee already on the bench with 4. And Lee already walking back to the bench towards head coach Julie Heisey. And the first shot up and good for Simpson Patu. And now Courtney Hollander checks back in the game. She checks in for Shim, actually. And now Lee, for the time being, still in the game. We'll see if Julie Heisey wants to make a substitution there in just a moment. Second free throw up and good. Lee, I guess, will stay in with those 3 fouls for right now. 54-48, Falcons by 6. Lee. Hollander, left side. And Lee gave it over to Albert, and Albert drains it from deep right. Jay Lee Albert for 3. And it's 57-48. Falcons with their biggest lead of the day at 9. Simpson Patu. Johansson coming into the left, and she banks it home. 57-50. Johansson, the Swede, with 13 for the Saints. And now Pagano to Albert. Fakes the pass. Lee for 3, and that's no good. And the rebound into the hands of Simpson Patu. Hustling front court. Simpson Patu coming in, going up. Foul from behind. She'll go to the line. Didn't make the shot. 2 free throws coming up for her in just a moment or two here as Albert is dinged for the foul, her 3rd. And the Falcons continuing to get into foul trouble here. And now Simpson Patu can't make the first free throw. Missed it off the front iron. Pagano checks out of the game. Haining checks in. You still have Lee in the game, though, and you still have Albert in the game with their 3 fouls. Second free throw up and good. 57-51. Albert with the ball. A minute 50 to go, third quarter. Coming in Albert, going up right hand, and she scores. Jaylee Albert found an opening, and she went right through it. Here's Schultz now. Going to Johansson against Ratash. And the left hand is up and good. 59-53. Albert with the ball front court. Jaylee Albert. Hands it off Hollander. Lee. Albert. 3. Short. Rebound gets into the hands of Simpson Patu. Back the other way we go. Outlet pass picked off by Lee. Great job by Lindsay Lee, channeling her inner Earl Thomas right there as she just anticipated where that ball was going to go perfectly, and she leapt up and took it away. And now Albert. Ratash inside. Haining posts up, scores off the glass. Julia Haining scores 61-53 as Simpson Patu takes it. Pulls up, free throw line shot, right side, no good. Hollander had it, and then it was poked away by Victor. And now it's Simpson Patu with it. Less than a minute to go, third quarter. 61-53. Falcons by 8. Schultz against Albert. 15 to shoot. Schultz. Screen set by Johansson. So Schultz will go around that to the right. Hands it off Sullivan. 5 to shoot. Sullivan coming in. Right hand short. Rebound Haining. And I think we're going to get a tie-up here. Yep, we get a tie-up called. And this time the arrow is going to favor St. Martin's. So the Saints will inbound, break for them on that loose ball rebound opportunity. They get the last shot of the quarter now. Got to inbound this ball in 5 seconds or less first. And that pass a little high past Reynolds, but gets into the hands of Simpson Patu. Nice job by Haining to break up the pass. Ball goes out of bounds. Pass intended for Johansson there. 8.6 seconds to go, third quarter. Saints will inbound from the baseline. It will be Reynolds who will do the honors. And now it's going to be Lindsay Lee who checks out of the game. Haley Bennett checks in. Riley Evans in the game for the Falcons as well. So Julie Heisey has taken out both Albert and Lee, who are in foul trouble right now. And now the shot on the way, no good for Simpson Patu. Rebound to Haining to Bennett. And this shot from just beyond half court is good! They count it! Unbelievable shot by Haley Bennett at the buzzer! They can go back and check the monitor, but they're going to count it. What a shot by Haley Bennett. 61-53 is what the scoreboard reads right now. It's actually 64-53 if this three-pointer counts. My, oh my, what a shot by Bennett. And now they got to check the tape just to make sure that Bennett got this shot off right as that red light came on. I'm amazed Bennett got that off. That didn't look like she was going to get it off in time, the way she was trapped near the baseline there. Near the sideline, I should say, the way the clock was running down, but she found a way to get it done. Or so it would appear. They're looking at the monitor as we speak. They've got to check and see if that ball got out of her hands before that red light got activated. And the referee gives the signal and it counts. All right. What a shot by Haley Bennett, and it does count. The redshirt freshman from Kalispell, Montana hits one from just beyond half court to give the Falcons their first double-digit lead of this contest at 64-53. And we're going to keep it right here for the start of the fourth quarter. Here we go with quarter number 4. Hollander will inbound. Evans, Shim, Haining, Hollander, and Bennett on the floor right now to start quarter number 4. Albert and Lee and McPhee out of the game, all with foul trouble right now as Evans tries the three from the right corner. No good. Ball poke free from Johansson, out of bounds. Last touch off the Falcons. For the Saints, you have Simpson Patu on the floor. You have Reynolds on the floor. Schultz, Baugh, and Johansson. 3 double-digit scores on the floor right now for the Saints, by the way. You've got Johansson with 15. You've got Schultz with 14. And you've got Simpson Patu with 13. You add that all up, that's 42 of the Saints' 53 points right there coming from 3 players. Shot from the left corner, no good for Baugh that time. The Falcons get the loose ball rebound. Bennett tries to bounce it toward Hollander. She gets it. Ball's blocked away, out of bounds. And the Saints will stay on defense. Falcons will inbound here as Bennett, long-range shooter as it were to turn out, delivers it to Haining. Now back to Bennett, inside. That's a piece of cake compared to what she just made. 66-53. Johansson. Falcons with their biggest lead of the contest. That three-point shot by Bennett, again, that's the first time that that marked the first time in this game that the Falcons, or any team for that matter, has been up by double digits. As Hollander gets the steal here. Albert with the ball as the Falcons look to separate themselves in this fourth and final quarter. Go to 2-1 on the GNAC season. Bennett with the ball, Haining with it, Albert with it, Hollander. Whistle here with 7 on the clock, and we're going to get an offensive foul. It's going to go on Riley Evans, her first. First of the quarter on SPU. Inbounds here to Johansson. Gets it over to Simpson Patu, front court. Coming in from the paint, rims in. So the Saints trying to hang around here, down by 11. Bennett kicks out Haining. Hollander. Bennett comes in. No, short. And the rebound tipped. It's into the hands of Albert before it goes out of bounds. Ball tried to poke it free from her, couldn't do it. Now Hollander to Evans. Evans bounces to Haining. Evans for 3, and that's going to miss, and the rebound gets into the hands of Haining. Albert, Hollander, Evans, right side, and it goes to Haining, goes up and in. Julia Haining scores at 68-55. Haining with 14. Reynolds with the ball. Coming in, Simpson Patu, and she throws it up and in on kind of a runner. The freshman has 17. Falcons by 11 with 7:10 and counting to go. Evans, Albert, Bennett, Hollander posting up. Turn around, no. Rebound gets into the hands of Simpson Patu. Simpson Patu bounces toward Johansson, and in transition they score. That gets the Saints within 9. Timeout's going to be called here. Timeout called. And it's a timeout called by the Saints, so they have 2 left. Falcons have 3 left, Saints have 2 left. Falcons up by 9 with 6:55 to go. We'll be back in a moment. All right, back here with 6:55 left to go in quarter number 4. And hold on here, it's maybe a little bit of a false start. Confusion about a substitution. Looked like Emma Kennedy wanted to come in the game for St. Martin's, but she's still stuck on the scorer's table. They wouldn't let her in. So now Bennett gets the inbounds from Hollander, and now it's McPhee with it. Heading to the right around the screen set by Haining. Shot from the free throw line, no. It was short, and the rebound gets into the hands of Simpson Patu. Hustling front court. And now the three. Up and in and out for Baugh. Tap in, no for Schultz, and the loose ball gets into the hands of Haining. Back the other way we go, Bennett. McPhee, turnaround, Hollander, no. And the rebound gets into the hands of Baugh. Here comes Simpson Patu. Ball coming in, hands it off. Simpson Patu, that shot no good. Assist would have gone to Schultz, and here comes McPhee. In the game with 4 fouls. Lindsay Lee also in the game. She has 3 fouls. Ball poked free from Haining and then stolen by Simpson Patu. Schultz kicks out. Simpson Patu with it. 12 seconds to shoot. Going against McPhee, biding her time. Still very much time for St. Martin's to get back in this. Down just 9. Three-pointer on the way. It's going to rim out for Schultz, and the loose ball gets to Haining. Here comes Bennett. 5:20 left. Falcons up 9. Bennett into the right. Bounces inside. Haining kicks out. And no good for McPhee. Ball goes into the hands of Hollander, and Hollander scores on the tap-in. And do we have a foul or do we have a timeout? We have a timeout here. The Falcons want the timeout. 30 seconds for them. They're up 11 with 5:08 to go, 70-59. All right, to pick up the action here, 5:07 left to go here, 70-59. The Falcons up by 11, but still time for St. Martin's to make a run with a little less than 5 minutes to go. And there's the turnaround for Simpson Patu, and that goes in. 19 points. The freshman has looked good today for the Saints of St. Martin's. Falcons trying to go to 7-1 overall in the year, 2-1 in the GNAC. McPhee coming in. He's going to kick it out to Haining. 15 to shoot. Now it's Shim to McPhee. Pagano. Lee for 3, no. Rim short. And the ball gets into the hands of McPhee, and McPhee scores. Julia Haining gets the assist there. Nice hustle by the Falcons to get that loose ball in the high post. 11-point game, and the Saints starting to run out of time a little bit. Simpson Patu, turn around short. Ball out of bounds. And I think it's last touch off the Falcons. No foul, 4:04 to go. Saints will inbound from underneath their basket. It's going to get into the hands of Johansson. Being double teamed, turned around, scores in the foul with 4 minutes left. The Saints trying to hang in there, and they got a chance to get within 8 now. Fouls on Haining, her second, but it's just the second of the quarter on the Falcons. As Carly Ratash checks in for Haney. Hitting with 14 points for the Falcons, doing a lot of her work inside along the high post. Free throw up and good for Johansson. 72-64, 4 minutes left. Falcons trying to hang on to this 8-point lead as Shim takes it. And now she's fouled immediately from behind by Kennedy. Not sure that was intentional though. But it is a foul on her, and that's going to be the second foul overall on Kennedy. First in the quarter on the Saints. Two fouls in this quarter on the Falcons, 1 on the Saints. 5 fouls gets you in the bonus. 5 fouls on the other team gets you in the bonus. And now it's going to be Shim. McPhee coming in, heading left, can't make it. Rebound tipped up, still loose. Johansson hangs on to it for the Saints. Here comes Simpson-Patu. Simpson-Patu coming in, and she makes the basket. So here comes St. Martin's now, just down by 6. Falcons lead, not looking as safe now. They need some more points. Let's see if Rachel Shim can help get them some right here. Screen set by Ratash. Goes up from the free throw line, in and out. Rebound gets into the hands of Johansson. Back the other way we go. And now this is Sullivan coming in. Shyler Sullivan, contact, goes down. No foul though as Ratash gets the loose ball for the Falcons. Here comes McPhee. Bounces inside, Lee throws it up high off the glass and in. Falcons needed that. They go up by 8 with a little less than 3 minutes to go here. 74-66. And what has been a mostly competitive game, even though the Falcons have led most of the time. Johansson shot wide right. Loose ball gets into the hands of Sullivan. Shot there for Victor, no good. Rebound to Shim. Back the other way we go. Another basket or two, and then this Falcons lead starts to look a little more safe. There's Ratash. Puts it in, the assist to Pagano. Nice job by Ratash to get the easy post-up shot inside. 2:05 left, 10-point game. Mid-range. Not even close for Sullivan. Victor, no, on the tap-in, ball loose. Picked up by Lee. Here come the Falcons as they start to take control in the closing minutes. McPhee, Ratash, mid-range, good. Falcons by 12. Looking good with less than 2 minutes to go here. Emma Kennedy with the ball. Coming in against McPhee. Runner, no good. Don't know if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it's a turnover. Pagano stole it, and now we're going to get timeout here. Timeout call. Timeout with 1:32 left. Falcons call the timeout. They have 1 remaining. Saints are running out of time. Falcons up 12, 78-66. We'll be back.
For St. Martin's 44, Lauren Lindley.
1:32 left. Falcons trying to hang on to a 12-point lead. If they do, they will be 7-1 overall on the year and 2-1 in the GNAC. 78-66 is what the scoreboard reads right now. Shim to Lee. It's technically a 4-possession game. 3 times 4 would tie for St. Martin's. But there's a 3 for Shim, and that is basically going to do it for SPU. 81-66, they lead by 15, ball poked free, and we get a tie up here. Arrow favors the Saints with 1:01 to go. So the Falcons now with a 9-0 run after the Saints got this to within 72-66 just a couple moments ago. Great finish for Julie Heisey's team as that three-pointer comes up short for Schultz. And this game may end up looking a lot less competitive on the scoreboard than it actually was. This just happened to be a very strong finish tonight by the Falcons. As that three-pointer short for McPhee. Less than 40 seconds to go. Saints will lose this game. They'll go to 5-5 overall, 1-2 in the GNAC. As we get a foul from behind here on Haney. They beat Concordia last week and also lost to Western Oregon prior to playing the Falcons. The Falcons a little bit of a lighter schedule as they have exams coming up. They play Concordia Irvine at Concordia Irvine on the 13th. And they play Oklahoma Christian in Lacey on St. Martin's home court on the 18th. And then the next home game at Broome Pavilion will be on the 28th against Montana State Billings. They also have home games on January 4th and 6th against Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington. So light schedule for the Falcons in December, but they're off to a good start, 7-1 in 5 seconds. And folks, that's going to be our last home game until Christmas. So we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and hope you have a great holiday season. And until next time, this is Tom Gionello saying good night here from Royal Broome Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. Final score today, Falcons 81, Saints 66.